went something like, "Hear my song as I ride along, I'm just a happy roving cowboy, herding the dark clouds out of the sky, keeping the heavens blue." And then we'd fade off in the background, the announcer would come on. And after all these years, I still can remember the lyrics of the song, and I'm not a songwriter. I also thought of some humorous antics in levity. It wasn't all business for the band. We had some fun. And I can remember driving to some of these jobs. BUB would quote four-liners and kind of keep us entertained. I can remember a couple of them. One of them was, "A man's not old when his hair turns gray, and he's still not old when his teeth decay, but he's well on his way to his final sleep. And his mind makes a promise his body can't keep." And another one was, "Here's to love, ain't it grand? I just got a divorce from my old man. Sure did laugh at the judge's decision. They gave him the kids and they weren't even his." He had many more, but that's two that I remember. And I do another incident that I thought was pretty humorous was we were playing the Mendota Fair, and at that time Fred Stahl, our drummer at the time, had a 1937 GMC truck, and he carpeted the back of it, and we would play on the back of the truck, and they'd move around, we'd go up and down Midway. And we stopped in front of the Raleigh tent, and I had a can of what they call fingeries. It's a slim can, about that high, and it was yellow. And the crowd was gathering around the truck next to the Raleigh tent. And BUB said, "Ernie, hold up that can of fingeries." So I held up the can, and BUB said, "Now the guitar player is holding up a can of Dr. Quack's hearing oil." And he said, "I took 2 cans of that, and it worked so well I heard from my brother in Alaska." And the guy in the Raleigh tent just folded over. He said, and I could hear him say, "I've never heard that before." I thought that was pretty good. We had another fella in the band by the name of Ellis Shoup. He was a piano tuner, made in the later years. He's quite a character, a fine musician. And he was always late when we meet at BUB's house to go do a job. And I remember we were sitting in the van, and we were waiting for Shoup. He lived in DeKalb. And BUB was puffing on his cigar and drum beating the dashboard, waiting for Ellis. Ellis pulls in, and he gets out of the car, and he puts a box on the floor, and he puts a can of peanuts in there, he puts a Playboy magazine in there, he puts galoshes in there, puts an umbrella in there. And BUB said, "For God's sakes, what should we think? Going to a weekend picnic?" I remember that so well. Another story on Shoup. We were playing down in Ottawa, Route 6. It was I can't remember the name of the place. They still have like weddings and a place, hall where you can congregate. Yeah, it was. And Shoup called ahead. Called ahead to see if the piano was tuned. He was playing. He also played piano and clarinet. And they said, "Oh yeah, we just tuned that a couple of weeks ago." Well, we got down and it wasn't tuned. Well, Shoup always carried his tuning kit with him. And he tuned the piano before we started playing. When we got done playing, he untuned the piano. But I was telling you about, I got to tell you a story about when I was on the program committee in Sandwich. The Opera House was being restored, and the committee, the trustees said, "Well, we want the program committee to hold a builder's bench while it was being restored." And we thought there might be 100 people there. They hired Faye's pork chops. They had the Wall Bouncy Steel Band there. symphony players there. The chairperson had an uncle who played the first violin, and they were really a joy. And they, the committee had me MC it. I said, thanks a lot. But anyway, I had to introduce some dignitaries and the Chicago Symphony players. And the committee said, we also want you to introduce your band. And we were going to play the street dance afterwards. So I saw the fellas, incidentally, Faze fed 740 people. We thought there was going to be 100 people there. And so I saw the fellas sitting out in the audience with their red vests on. And I introduced each one and I said, "Bub the last." I said, "Now I want to tell you a few stories about our band leader." I said, "He lives in Leland now, and he ambles uptown about 10:30 in the morning. He goes to Kenny Manolin's drugstore, gets some pipe tobacco, and he goes down to a restaurant and have a cup of coffee. And then he'll go to the post office, pick up the mail, and get back home about noon. Now, Alberto, his wife, Alberto, would have a sandwich for him. And they didn't talk too much at lunchtime. They'd been married 50 years, and they'd covered about every subject. So they'd eat in silence. But one noon, Bub was in a reflective mood. And he said, "Honey," he said, "would you still love me if I lost all my money?" And Alberto said, "I'll still love you, but I'll miss you."